me start the recording. All right, let's just kind of get into it. Good afternoon, Lee. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone, to the Market Watch Group weekly market wrap. Some people are looking at the market. They're like, oh, what's going on? I think we're fine. I don't see anything about it. Even as I look at it and think, you know what? I think it's going to be a sell day. I think the sellers are going to get a day back today, which is fine. We hadn't actually accounted for it being more than that. Let me share my screen with you on both sides. Okay. You can see it on Circle. Let me now share it on... Whoops. Nope. Let me share it on Discord. Oh, gosh. Nope. Greg, not a problem at all. I want to make sure you're accounted for. I'm good. You don't have to worry about me. I want to make sure that you're getting the messages. I'm just a little paranoid, like that I'm not getting the messaging to everybody that, you know, someone's like on Discord. They're like, where the hell is everyone? What the hell? Right? I don't want that to be the case. So look, I just want to make sure you're accounted for sure. But that link will get you in, get you over, get you to the new platform. Everybody loves it. It's a great new place. We moved up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get into it. I think everybody sees it. Recordings are on. We're good. I am Scott. I'll be your host. Here's our disclaimers. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. We don't give recommendations or advice. This is for educational and illustrative purposes only. What do we want to do today? Let's analyze today's market. It was a selling day, but how bad was it? Are we going to get any of it back? We'll see. We'll look at our posture to see what's going to happen. Did we get too aggressive too soon by raising our score to 6.25? No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think actually we're right where we need to be. So yeah, let's take a look and see. Trades being carried over the weekend. I would imagine. So I've ended up booking my Walmart at a great time. Today, if you stayed in it gave back. But it seems to me that most people booked early. PJ booked early, grabbed nice 70%. Boom, boom, couple of days. I stayed longer, got a little more. If you stayed too long, it illustrated the term or the phrase, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Don't be greedy. If you put an order in for 90%, you got filled. 90%. If you're like, I want 100% and you stayed in, then today you are giving back. Well, actually, maybe I should, since I got out of it, I didn't take as close of a look maybe as I normally would. Looks like we're a little off the lows. I wondered if we'd see the buyers coming a little bit. I mean, look, you would actually still make 80% or close. We needed it at 85. It's at 84.28. So, you know, it's not as bad as some things. You'd still be able to get a good, big chunk of win from this thing. But I got 90. I'm just saying. Okay. So what am I carrying? I'm carrying my calendar spread. And I'll tell you, I actually think that it's looking pretty good. It looks fine. As long as my posture doesn't shift fundamentally, then I'm going to be okay with that trade. I'm going to give it a little leeway. What are we looking for next week? We'll talk about the economic calendar and what we think is going to come. We'll review our opportunity list. It's expanding. Lots of really strong, high liquidity sector leaders that just made new highs and are now pulling back, potentially making higher lows. I mean, if you wrote it down, you'd read it and be like, whoa, it sounds like I should be wanting to trade that. And the answer is yes, you should, of course. Trading plan progress. I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. I think it's 6 and maybe next week 7 and then we do 8. It's record keeping and analytics. You got to have that. You know how important record keeping and analytics are. Okay. This guy looks worried. Yeah, he's looking up. He's concerned. Why? Because they're on track for steep weekly losses. I don't think I would still call it steep. Give me your thoughts. Is it steep? I don't think so. Let me get my platform. Move this over a little bit. And let's go to the SPY. 600. Now we're at 585. We are 15 points. 15 points off of the high of 600. 2.5%. 2.5% is not steep. Not steep. It's a mild pullback. Do we have volume? Yes, we do today. Average is 44. We're at 50. We're already 15% above, and there's still quite a bit of time left. So that's a big chunk of selling. A gap down, selling all day. We'll see if the buyers push it back a little bit more or not. PJ says, let's discuss defense. Well, now when you say defense, so defense stocks are things like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon. If you mean defensive stocks, meaning stocks that are oriented in defensive sectors like utilities, like healthcare, like consumer staples. But here's the problem with that. Right now, bullish things are pulling back. I don't want to think about trading defense stocks when I'm bullish. If the market starts to show weakness, then I think defense stocks, right? Then they start, because right now, as we go look at some of those things like utilities, maybe. That's a maybe. Not for any other reason other than it's, let me get my drawing tool. Where's my drawing tool? Nope, that's not it. I must have closed it. Actually, I think XLU looks like it could be buyable today, to be fair. So that's a good call on, well, actually not. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. We've got an extra 15 minutes now, so that's good. What happened? Broke the consolidation with some volume in there, yeah. Pulled back, higher low, kind of a flag or pennant type formation, starting to now break out of it. Yeah, I would say that's viable if you were thinking, I want to put something on like that. Defense stocks like Lockheed Martin, it's a downtrender, right? Lockheed Martin's at a new lower low. We had a break of the 50, took out all of this, lower high, lower low, heading down. Not interested. Not interested. Lower low, broke below the 50, not interested. So the defense sector, to me, I don't think Raytheon trades that way anymore. Is it now RTX? Anyway. Yeah, defense isn't really interesting. Healthcare stocks. It's an easy way for us to go through, right? Am I interested in healthcare right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Lower lows. Lower lows, lower highs. Let's look at the pharmaceuticals. I mean, look at Pfizer. It's bottom fishing down there. This thing is in a sell-off, right? I don't catch falling knives. You guys know that the only way I would ever trade something is if there's an expectation of momentum. So I don't try to catch this bottom, because why wouldn't you try to catch that bottom or that bottom, right? And if you did that, where are you? I don't know it's a bottom until it does what? It gives me one of these. That's it. That's the only way I would trade any of these. That's just my personal trading style. Other people might try to find a counter trend trade or something. You know, there's too much good stuff right now, right? Let's see if there's any pharmaceuticals that do look good. New lower lows. Lots of sellers. New lower lows, nothing but a downtrend. Yeah, be careful with all of those. What would I be willing to trade? Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our posture. We're at 1.25. What's going to happen there? What is going to happen there? Where's my watch list? There it is. Let's get to the SPY. And let's start here. Now, this green line, this whole movement here is no longer as important to us. We've already adapted our score more to this red angle than the green angle. So this is fine. This doesn't like, oh, what are we doing? We're whipsawing around. Nope. We're not whipsawing around at all. That looks fine. My score is not going to change there. When I go here, nothing's going to change here. We just got a new higher high. We're pulling back. As far as our score is concerned, honestly, if you like the new angle, you might even push that to a 2. I'm going to leave that the same way. Volume. This is going to be a tie day. This is going to be a sell day. So this day is going to drop off. So we'll have 1, 2, 3. We'll have 4 buy days, 3 sell days, 2 tie days. Overall, what does that make me lean towards? Still buyers. Still buyers. Good morning, Sandy. Good to see you. I think it's still going to hold up at a 0.5. It might drop to a 0.25, right? I could see it maybe dropping with this big volume ending the week. I could see it maybe easing back to a 0.25. I think you could make an argument for either one. Okay, let's say that we do. Let's say we pull back 0.25. All right. From a sector standpoint, or a major market standpoint, we know how very strong the small caps were and have been. I think that's going to maintain. I don't see anything that would change that. I think this is going to maintain, and if anything, it's going to show us actually it could get to a 1. I think we've got a lot of strength in the growth sectors, and we've got not much strength in the defensive sectors, as we just showed, other than possibly utilities. Volatility, nothing is going to happen there as well. We already raised at a point. I think my score is either going to be a 6 or a 6.25. So even with everything the market didn't go anywhere. Flat, sell. That's what we did. Okay. Are we concerned? My answer is no. No, I'm not. I think it looks just fine the way that it is. I am not concerned by it. Okay. What else? Questions, comments, concerns? How do you guys feel about that? Let me know. Go to the economic calendar for next week. What do we have? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Looky, looky. Our good friend and future FOMC chairman, Chicago Fed, the esteemed, the hallowed, the revered, Dr. Sir Austin Goolsbee. I think he wants me to maybe be his introducer. I would give him a hell of an introduction when he gives speeches. I should be hired as a traveling, I'd give him a good one. I will get him elected to Fed. Is that an elected position? How do you become Fed? Appointed? We need to find out for our website. Okay. What else do we have besides Austin giving us some words of advice? Another day of Austin. What? 2 in a row? It's an embarrassment of riches. Wednesday, Lisa Cook, Michelle Bowman. Nope. Neither of them are that interesting. Beth Hammock. Cleveland Fed Beth Hammock. Not bad. I like Hammock. Kansas City Jeff Schmid. No. He's very schmidty. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision, Michael Barr. Man, I swear I'm like never heard of these names. The Fed roster seems to continue expanding. Like they're like the assistant to the district manager of like, what is he? Do we need to know what he says? I don't think we do. Yeah, there's not really much news next week. A little bit of consumer sentiment, a little bit of home sales, some Fed speak. But we just heard from Jer Bear. Let's look at the Fed watch real quickly. We're a month away already. And okay, it improved actually. It improved a little bit. I guess it didn't. I swear it was barely or not quite 1.5 to 1. Now it's 1.5 to 1. It says that yesterday it was 72 to 27. But we certainly saw a wet blanket come from Jerome Powell that they're not in a rush. I don't think that means they're not going to cut. I think it means they just want to be like, let's shake it up a little bit. And people are just getting a little too complacent with just expecting us to do something. I think I'm still leaning. Let's do a quick poll. Real quickly, so I know everybody's awake. Do you think, A, they're going to cut this by 1 more quarter of a point before the end of the year? Or do you think, B, they are not going to cut this? It's going to stay the same. Sorry, I probably should have drawn this arrow the other way. A is for a cut. B is to stay the same. Give me your thoughts. Let me know. Phil says cut. Okay, he's an A. PJ says my desire, A. It's funny because we get these cuts and then but then mortgage rates aren't coming down yet. I don't know. All right, I'm an A. I still think he's gonna cut. They're gonna cut 1 more time, and then they're gonna sit on it. And then the second group comes in, no cut at all. Sandy, Lee, Nick, David all say no. So we're actually a little under we're the other way. We had 3 A's. No, we had 4 A's. 3 A's and 5 B's. So we're the opposite. Want mortgage to come to 6 from 6.7. CPJ, you're good. I'm even greedier than that. I was like, can we get it to 5 by like May? I'm on crack. I realize that now. 5. Anyways. Okay. So let's go look. Again, there's really no the last couple of alerts that we had. You can see Walmart. It's holding up. If you were to close right now, you could probably sell it the spread for 430. This late in the game, 430. 430 still did, phenomenally well. Or not? No. That's wrong. That's wrong. 230. You could sell it for 230. You still be almost 100% return, but not as much as had you had the order in place when we were talking about 80 to 90% when it was up in this range here. The other trade, and this is a new one, but this is where we adapt to market conditions. When we were sitting here looking at this market at resistance, we weren't like, hey, let's put on some directionally bullish trades as we expect the market to pull back, obviously, right? We didn't do any of that, of course. This is setting up directional trades. So what trade did we put on back here when the volatility was low, before the volatility rose? And looking along these lines, let's pull this up. This is the trade. And you might think, why do you think this looks good right now? I think it looks good because I'm bullish still. I'm bullish. This thing has come all the way back down to here, and it's barely gone against us. Why is it barely gone against us? Because this is, right? Let me show you a couple of things. This is how sensitive we are to price. The delta is 22. So it hurt us when it came down with it being positive, but how much? Not that much. Theta is around 5. So we get that every day. That's in our favor. What's the biggest Greek here? Vega. What is our Vega? It's a positive. We want volatility to go up. It's positive. What did the volatility do? It went up. That helped us. That sustains us. So now, as this thing goes to Saturday and then Sunday and then Monday, all we're thinking is, as long as this thing, and we said it might not be until middle of beginning of December. It might not be till maybe December 2nd. If it then moves back up when it gets here, what am I going to do? I can take the profit of the whole thing? No, I don't have to. I can take profit on just this December 600 strike. Then I can sell, and I can actually change this from a neutral trade, because remember, we're not neutral, we're bullish. But I'm neutral. When I put this trade on, I was neutral. My market posture was bullish, but my trading posture was neutral, and that's why this trade made sense. But if it goes down and comes back, then I will actually say, hey, you know what? I'm actually more bullish. So what would I do? I would change this from selling the 600 strike to selling the 605, or even selling the 610, right? Because that's going to fundamentally shift. That's going to fundamentally shift the profile of the trade. I don't think I can simulate that yet. It wouldn't let me simulate it yet, but I'm just saying there's flexibility here. So what are we doing? When the market's overextended, we don't have to sit and wait. What do some people have a tendency to do when the market's overextended? They're like, oh, I'm going to buy puts. Now, it might have worked out this time. It's pulled back a little bit. The problem is that there's times where it goes so fast the other way that, again, remember what we said about I can't look left and right at the same time. I can look right and center at the same time. I can look left and center at the same time. So I can be bullish and neutral, where I have a trade that can capitalize on even if it pulls back. I would always caution people to be very, like, they get into this, like, I'm a trader, so I can just trade every direction all the time. Whatever I want to do, I can do it. And it's like, boy, that sounds like a blade of grass bragging about what it can do. Watch out when the lawnmower comes, blade of grass. Watch out. Yeah, okay. Let's go through the watch list, because as I was saying to PJ, I don't think we need to look at defensive things. We aren't defensive yet. My posture at worst is going to drop a quarter of a point. I'm still bullish. Am I bullish on Apple? Yeah, Apple's a little uncertain, right? You can see Aflac's already moving. Let me get out of this chart. I need a different chart. Already starting to move bullishly. Amazon, that's setting up. It just made a new high. This is my old low right through here. I've got a great potential for a trade as it slides in here. That's a leader, but it's just not there yet. Be patient. It's coming. We don't need to force the trade right now. I cannot impose my will on Amazon. APO, still pulling back. Still setting up. Just made a new high. What are we looking for? We got this range. This comes down and turns. This comes in here and turns. Setup. Bullish setup. Now I've got Amazon and consumer discretionary. I've got APO and financials. AppLovin. Pulling back. Flagging. Looking bullish. AXP. Looking bullish. Are these setups that we're going to trade today? Do I want to take an anticipatory day on a sell day on a weekend? No. That's forcing the trade, right? That's the blade of grass imposing his will on the lawnmower. Don't do it. Bad idea. Right? Bad idea. Bond market determines rates, and they see sticky inflation. That's a great observation, press. That is a great observation. PJ says, I'm in business to sell real estate. I just want to buy. My daughter has 2 more years in school after this. And what I'm paying for like one closet-sized bedroom at a private dorm would boggle your mind. So I'm like, I'd rather just buy like a duplex and rent rooms for that astronomical price. It's not too far from my house, so I can't do it at 6.5%. I can do it at maybe like 5 3/4. I don't know. PJ, you and me, we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. Maybe do some mortgage god dancing. I don't know, something. All right, BAC, bullish, not really a setup. BK, I still like BK. BX, look at how strong the financials are across the board. Is it strong and ready to buy, or is it still kind of in that setup mode? Let's be patient. Caterpillar, still in setup mode. Anything above the 50, I'm fine with it. Right? Anything above the 50. CMG, starting to pull back. I would trade that, bouncing off the 50. Whoops, let me not bypass that. Coherent, still sitting on the 50. I still see it with the viability. Just made a higher high, sitting on the 50 to make a higher low. I would absolutely look at that one next week. We're just letting signals come to us. Yeah? Cisco. God, this looks magnificent. That looks fantastic. Look at that trend. Higher high, higher low. Bam. Higher high, higher low. Bam. Higher high, higher low. Bam. Looking for it. Want it. Licking our chops. That's in communication services, right? We've got communication services or IT. I don't know. Maybe that would be considered technology. We've got technology. We've got financials. We've got industrials. We've got great signals. I don't want to look anywhere but in these great places. Fastenal. Oh, we're ready for another Fastenal trade. Sandy said near university is a good investment, but student renters are pretty grubby. Here's my strategy. I wouldn't openly advertise it as only for girls, but I would only advertise 2 girls, right? Some sororities maybe, because they're pretty tame sororities. She goes to Utah State. It's a pretty it's the girls. Like, if you rent to girls, I would never. I was a college guy that rented a house. I know what I did. I know I would never rent to them. Never. Every guy in the room is like nodding their head like, yeah, smart. Don't. Fastenal. This is a magnificent stock. I love it. We just had a great trade on it. I'm ready for another one. Where is this? Industrials. We have 5 core growth sectors, all providing us with setup opportunities. I could see us having a 4 alert week next week. Easy. Why? Because we're going to be patient. We're going to let the trades come to us. When you love a trade, you set it free. And when it comes back to you, you know it was meant to be. Everybody knows that. FIS. FIS. Fidelity National Information Services. It's a little lackluster, I think. It was like late, and I'm like, I don't know if we want to trade something late, and it's just kind of stalling out now. GBTC Bitcoin, big run up, but it's overextended. I think you're late to the party. GE Vernova setting up. That could be one of the first to go. We're starting to see the buyers like, ooh, hold on. Gold down. Google setting up. Google busted out, got back up here. Buyers are doing their thing. It's coming back down. I think Google looks great. Where's Google? Communication Services, the leader. Goldman looking bullish. Absolutely. Home Depot looking bullish after breaking out of this consolidation pattern. Busted up out of it. Pulling back. We've got this window above the 50-day. Looks great. Great. Lee says hood. Let's take a look. Oh, Lee, you're not wrong. Beautiful flag. You could call it a pennant. You could call it a flag, whatever you want to call it. It's a small consolidation. Clearly, sellers are diminished. Buyers are looking to come in. Having a crisis of faith with Google. Sandy, what? It's still Google. IBM. Oh, IBM. I'm going to have to kick you off the list. You guys know IBM has a special place in my heart. IWM. Okay, let's do a quick back and forth. So the small caps ran up hard and fast, but they're giving it back a little bit more as well. So this will be interesting. I might have to change my mind and take another quarter point away. We might take a quarter away from major market. I'm gonna open back up and say it could be 5 3/4. Could be 5 3/4. Not necessarily staying at a 6, but yeah, still. Okay. Johnson Controls. Boy, that looks bullish to me. There's buyers have taken a break. What are the sellers doing? Not much. Oh, we love KKR. We love KKR. I'm ready for another KKR trade for sure. That'll be the 3rd or the 4th. Maybe it's the 4th, actually. Good. Either way. MasterCard. No. I mean, it looks all right. I can't say no. I think it looks good. McDonald's. My wife said she heard someone died from the onion fiasco. Is that true? But my understanding is it's all done now. I don't know. Meta. Ooh. There's where your crisis of faith should be, Sandy. Look at Meta. Breaking the 50. They're in what, Clint? It's in Colorado? That's just one state away from us. What the hell? Were the bad onions from this area? I need to pay better attention. Meta does not look good, you guys. Volume is going to be above average. It's breaking the 50 and breaking this old low at the same time. I like Google, but I don't like Meta. Morgan Stanley. Oh, an older guy that already had issues. Okay. Yeah. Those dirty onions will do it to you when you got issues already. That's sad. Morgan Stanley. I like Goldman better, actually. Tell me your thoughts. Microsoft. I like Google, but I don't like Microsoft. There were some. Phil says there were some infections in Utah, but no deaths. I had no idea that it was that close to home. I don't think anyone in our family eats McDonald's anymore, except me with the McRib. They're not out yet. So we're safe. We're safe. And you might be thinking, Scott, are you still going to get a McRib? Knowing that there could be tainted onions? Yeah, it just kind of gives it a little a flare of excitement. Like, oh, you don't know what you're going to get, you know? So, yes, still going to eat it. MicroStrategy. Bullish in consolidation. NASDAQ in consolidation. I hope you see the pattern. We don't buy at the end of 7 or 8 days up. We don't do that. Or at least if you used to, I don't want you to do that anymore. We expect. Did we predict? Oh, it's going to definitely pull back. No, we said, look, the pullback, we have a good sense of it coming. We felt that the VIX was getting ready to push up. We'll see that here in a minute. Market's pulling back. Great. Let it pull back. Let it set up. Let us get a nice handful. Look back at, again, when we get to a 6, last time it stayed there for 4.5 months, and it was the best window of trading we've had in 2 years. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. That's the saying. I want to be that genius. Okay. NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks close. The problem is we've got earnings. Otherwise, I'd be chomping at the bit. And I maybe still. What day is that? The 20th. The 20th is a Wednesday after market. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to. PLTR. PLTR makes me sad because I thought, here comes this next trade, and then bam, it takes off. PLTR, we really wanted to trade you again. PayPal. Oh, PayPal looks magnificent. PayPal looks magnificent. I definitely am looking for a trade there. The Qs look fine. It's a big pullback today, but we just made a higher high. So let's see what we get from here. Southern, a little bit of momentum in the utilities, but not much. SoFi, flagging, looks strong. SPY. Okay, let's see where we are relative to the... So we've come off the lows. We'll see. We'll see if we can get a little more ground here in the last 18 minutes. Okay, whoops. Tesla. You guys know I'm not like just a huge fan of Tesla, but if you subscribe to Elliott Wave Theory, there's another big wave up. It's flagging, it's consolidating, whatever you want to call it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about this. Implied volatility is pretty high. The options are expensive. You'd have to be real careful with what you do. It's a mover. It's a mover. Taiwan Semiconductor does not have earnings. And is possibly setting up for a trade. You guys know I'm a TSM. Why are insurance stocks like AFL, Prudential moving up? All of financials is strong right now. So to some of that, it's group related. Yeah, it's going up because there's more buyers than sellers right now. That's really all we need to worry about, quite honestly. TTD, it's got a lot of volatility still. You can see gap down, ran up, moved up, pushing back down. Yeah, that's a roller coaster. The dollar topping out a little bit. I'll tell you, what I'm hoping for is the dollar to stay strong enough to let me, good conversion for buying dollars when I go over to the UK, and but not long enough to put pressure on this bull market. I just want it all. That's all. I just want it all. Is that too much to ask? But I still want that bull market because someone's got to pay for that trip. Okay. Okay. Where were we? The VIX. How concerned are we with the VIX? I told you I didn't think it would get up to 18. Got close. Like that's where I feel like my expectation is now right across here. This old low, this 50-day. We might come on up into this thing, and then when we come down, high, lower high. That is going to improve our market posture score and give us phenomenal confirmation for a bullish trading window. Do not take that lightly. That is a signal that we actively look for. Yeah? So as we go through and we identify, and here's the deal. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. It's on my list. We did a search of 4 sectors. Oh, also, shame, I know your name. Those of you who were there Tuesday night, we did 4 sectors worth of searching. And I said, all right, we only didn't do one search, one sector. I said, you guys should do it and write down your favorite 1 or 2 and send it to me, and I'll let the group help us build it. Guess how many people sent me 1 or 2 stocks? None. Sorry, I didn't even give you a chance to guess because I just went straight to the answer. None. Nones of you sent me that. Okay, so that just means that we don't have financials until Tuesday. I'll bring this up again on Sunday. However, I have a list here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in the communication services. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in consumer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in technology. 1, 2, 3, 4 in industrials. Sandy and Lee said they're sorry. I accept your apologies. I'm just teasing. I'm just giving you a hard time. But we said, hey, if we're going to be more bullish, if we're going to be in a 6, possibly a 7 level market for months, hopefully, we want to trade more. And if we want to trade more, we need more stocks to watch. I said I would be willing to have upwards of 100 stocks. And some people get like intimidated by that. They're like, 100? I don't want to watch 100. I can get through 100 in under 10 minutes in a day. Boom, 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 boom. Not there. Like, look at this. We've got, 50 or 60. I stop and yap and talk, and we can get through this list and no problem. if unless you have as many trades as you need, I think it's a good idea. So I'm expanding the watch list. As soon as I add all of these, I will post it. Remember, Circle allows us to do some very cool things. I'll post it and I'll be able to actually link directly to where you can download the new watch lists so that you could then make sure to update yours. Okay, quick side note there. But the VIX, it's not. Well, let's see. Let me actually change my mind. That's where we were. Friday, Thursday, 1, 2, 3. That was where we were last week. So we were at the same lows. We actually did get a lower low. I might give it a quarter of a point for that, because that would take me to 1.25. Then if it got up here and gave me a lower high at 18, that would bring me to a 1.5. Then if it got below this, that would take me to a 1.75, only if it got below 14. And that's about as good as it's going to get. I don't know what it's going to take to get me to a 2. So actually, whatever we lose from major market, we might gain from the VIX. I think there's a chance that the VIX score actually improves now that I look at this. Give me your thoughts about that thought process. Okay. VIX looks good. Where are we? Walmart, good trade. Earnings coming up on Tuesday, I believe that is, the 19th. As soon as those earnings come out, I'm definitely looking for another trade on Walmart. Anytime we have a successful trade, if you were to be like, I wonder if Scott would take this again, don't wonder. The answer is yes. Those are my most favorite trades to take. The second trade after a winning trade, we've all seen it. We saw it on PLTR. We saw it on KKR. We're starting to see where that concept of just trading the same thing over and over, you're more comfortable with it. You're better with it. You know what to do with it. A familiarity, if you will. So, yeah, I definitely, when I think, hey, we just took profit on Walmart, let's get ready to trade it again. We just took profit on KKR. Great. Let's get ready to trade it again. When I do a straddle, I'm not a fan of straddles or strangles. You would have a very hard time convincing me, because when you're doing a straddle or strangle, you're thinking about earnings, right? And you're like, hey, if they have a good earnings or a bad earnings. But I'll tell you this. This is what I will tell you I've learned over years of trying to figure out, how can I capitalize on earnings? Market makers are really good at what they do. Really good. And what is their number one job? Pricing options. So they know what we're trying to do, and when we're trying to do it, they inflate them before earnings, they deflate them after earnings. So it's like you have to catch an 8-9% move. You're like, oh, I can do that. And you can sometimes. And when you do, you're like, oh, yeah, this straddle's amazing. But then there's like 3, 4, 5 in a row where it's like you think it's going to move 8%, it moves 1%. Everything loses money. Both sides lose money. And you're like, oh, that was, yeah. Just wait. I'm telling you, if someone solves it, I'll be their best friend. You know, I'll be like, let's be best friends. You solved it. I bow to your superiority and want to be your best friend. That's it. There's been several times. I got close. I one time worked on this strategy. I called it a reverse strangle swap. Reverse strangle swap. And it was pretty involved, because what you would do is you would sell front month options on both sides, calls and puts. And you would buy longer term on both sides, and you were basically, what you were trying to capitalize on was the volatility dropping, but insulating yourself against price movements. I got close. I was like, oh, I think I've solved it. And then the market kicked me in the teeth and was like, nope, you didn't. But the offer stands. So if anyone out there, if you ever are like, Scott, I think I have the solution for earnings, I will offer to vet your solution and help you to configure, like, did you solve it? Let's play with it. Let's test a few things. I have ways to test to know. And then if you did, I'll submit a formal best friend application. I'm not willing to go more than like maybe $50 filing fee, like a gift card to Cold Stone for some ice cream, something like that. Okay, basic materials, lower lows, not interested. Communication services, new higher highs, pulling back. I definitely view communication services as having a beautiful trading window that is going to come in here for us to be ready to trade, right? Absolutely. Looking for it. Energy. Energy's overextended. Energy looks pretty good. Energy's bullish. Financials look bullish, look good. Industrials look bullish and setting up. That's close. Technology, still bullish. Staples, no, not so much. Utilities, maybe. Healthcare, not at all. Consumer discretionary, looks great. Looks great. That's where we stand. Yeah. I'm bullish. I'm going to be bullish. I'm looking for bullish trades. There's lots of bullish stocks on our list with more to add. Don't let 2 days of selling make you think, oh, I should be getting bearish, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. Nah, not even a hedge. There was no need. I didn't have any bullish. What are you hedging? Huh? I think we're in a good place. I think we got lots of profits locked in when we were supposed to lock it in. We're not carrying bullish trades into this consolidation. The consolidation is setting up a number of new bullish trades for us. Giddy up. That's what I say. This looks fantastic. Anybody who says otherwise is selling fear or doesn't know what they're looking for. Thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns? From a trading plan standpoint, we're kind of fluidly moving back and forth between Section 6 and Section 7. Making sure your record keeping is in place. If you go back to Monday's post, I put links so that you could just download the trade log right from there. Bam, it's yours. It's never been easier for you to find and get into any of the resources we have, whether it's links that we provide, whether it's documents for you to download, whether it's educational resources. Let's make sure that you have that. Those of you still on Discord, we are moving. You're going to find signs that say we have moved. Make sure you get on. I'll still open both on Sunday, but you'll find the link in emails. You'll find the link all over in our Discord channels for you to click. Join this new group, get in and integrate into this new platform because it's fantastic. Everyone who's come over has liked it. I'm loving it. It's a great way to make sure that we can provide you easier access to the resources that will help you be successful with what we're doing as a group. All right, well, that's it. That's all I have for today. Let's just go take a quick peek at how we're closing. Oh, so they tried to push it even a little bit more. I was wondering if we could get all the way up here to like 587, but no, not quite there. Can we do an education session on the Analyze tab? So PJ, that is a question that either Glenn or I would be able to, I think, well, let me see. Is Glenn on TradeStation or Thinkorswim? I think he's on Thinkorswim. The answer is yes, but there's really no formal sessions. That's where you basically would want to come to the trading foundations and be like, hey, let's walk through Analyze. And I'll be like, oh, great. Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. I've made a note so that he's on TradeStation. I wondered if he was. Okay, so it's not for the beginner session, it's for the open session. I made a note so on Tuesday I'll talk about it unless you're not there, but I would rather you're there to ask specific questions that you have. Because even if you're not using Thinkorswim, you can model that in a different, as long as they have a option pricing model, you'll be able to make it work. So yeah, good questions. Sandy is in first place in the group leadership board. If you're not sure what I mean, I'm going to show you now. She is in first place. Not only that, but she brags a lot to me. She's like, I think I'm the best. I think I'm better than everybody in the group. Look how good no, she doesn't. I'm just kidding. She's probably mortified that I'm saying that right now. Sorry, let me see where my chat went. Oh, yeah, there it is. But she is winning. That is true. What? She's like, what? What do you mean? Here is the leaderboard. Sandy is at the top. She's up 8 points. 8 points. How do you get points? You get on and you post and you engage. You comment and you like posts and you engage. Let's engage. Let's get some discussions going. I'm going to try to put more about what I'm doing with alerts. Remember that the alerts, everything's given to you up front so that you can execute that with your own trading style. But I figure ongoing, I'm going to put like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put an order here. And that way, other people will start to do the same kind of a thing. I'm thinking about a trading contest where we get to submit trades real time. And then at the end of the month, whoever's trade does the best wins a prize. The prize is, I don't know what it'll be. Everybody's esteem and respect, which is worth everything. And we're going to start to do polls to create a group composite score. A lot of cool things coming down the pike with what we're doing here in Circle. So make sure that you participate. Don't sit idly by. What is the criteria? I'm going to go harder. Just commenting, liking, and posting. I think that's it. All of that contributes. So let's find ways to improve engagement so that we're interacting with each other outside of the normal sessions. There's great interaction to be had. That's it for me, everybody. It's great to see you. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Sunday morning at the regular time, 11 a.m. Eastern. I think we're going to have a great week. I'm excited about next week. I'm excited about the market that we have in front of us. You guys have a great rest of your week. And as always, happy trading.